Hey, what up, guys? So a lot of videos this morning. This next one is the what's next on Billy Joe Saunders, the newly crowned undefeated WBO super middleweight champion. So Billy Joe returned May 18th in the main event of an ESPN Plus card when he returned to challenge for the vacant WBO super middleweight title, as he officially competed at super middleweight for his first time. And he took on Shafat or something like that. Hold on. Shavkat Isufi. Isufi, I don't know how the hell this guy came into fucking being the number one fighter in the WBO at 168. Fucking bullshit. One of those guys that was a setup opponent for Billy Joe Saunders. I don't know how the fuck they ranked him number one. This guy has beaten nobody. He wasn't even undefeated, you know? And Saunders just went and dominated him for 12 rounds. It was just not even a fight. So, you know, whatever. It was just a good, strong performance by Billy Joe against a nobody. Really didn't say much about what he's going to do at 168, but he's already moved high into 168, because 168 is a good division. It just doesn't have a lot of guys who have done a lot of work, you know, put in a lot of time. It's a lot of guys that have one big win or two big wins. So, you know, case in point is Callum Smith is my number one after, dominating George Groves, because George Groves had been at the top of the division for a while, or one of the guys at the top. You got Billy Joe Saunders, or Canelo. Canelo hasn't really beaten anybody at 168 outside of Rocky Fielding. He grabbed a hold of a world title, but because of what he's done at 160, that's why he's ranked number two for me at 168. Chris Eubank, really his career best win, he dominated James DeGale, who had done a lot of work at 168. So 168 is wide open to be taken over, is what I'm saying. Billy Joe's going to move into the top three right now, just from capturing a world title and being, officially at 168 now. So the big question now, what's next for Billy Joe Saunders? Billy Joe, talented, undefeated, southpaw. Okay, does anybody want to fight him is the big question. Well, what's next could be what's next. What I want to see is a unification bout with Callum Smith. I don't think Canelo's going to go after Callum Smith, so I think Smith is going to be available. Smith is staying busy, taking on Hassan Nadam coming up here. Actually, this Saturday on June 1st, he should win that fight without a hitch. And then these two guys are unified world champions both from the United Kingdom, both undefeated. Why not fight each other? It's a big fight. Yes, top rank. Yes, Eddie Hearn and Matchroom have to come together for the fight, but they've done that already. They're still doing it right now. They've done that for Anthony Corolla and Vasily Lomachenko earlier this year. They're working a deal out right now for Lomachenko and Luke Campbell to fight. Why not make this fight? This is a great fight, a lot at stake. Premier Boxing Champions has most of the other guys. Those are harder fights to make because having to deal with Al Heyman. So why not make this fight with each other, work out a deal? It'd be a really good fight. I don't think either guy would care which network the fight would be on, because I think it'd be a big fight either way. They could base it out of the United Kingdom. You're going to have an undefeated, unified world champ. So the winner will be absolutely the number one fighter in the division. And I think this is Billy Joe's best option. I don't know if it's going to happen, though. Something tells me Billy Joe's going to come back and fight a nobody in his next fight, but I really hope he doesn't. He has a big opportunity to do something big here. He hasn't fought anybody big since David Lemieux back in 2017. He really needs to get a big name on his list next. A second option, Chris Eubank Jr., a rematch. Billy Joe back in 2015 or 14, at the end of 2014, beat Chris Eubank when they were both undefeated by a split decision in a close fight. That's what led to Billy Joe, I believe it was a year later, he got the fight with Andy Lee and scored the upset, became the world champ. And he was world champ up until last year because of a positive steroid test. So Billy Joe, his whole career so far, the reason why he's such a big name is because of his win over Chris Eubank. That led to that. So a rematch now that Eubank has beaten James DeGale. Again, another huge domestic rivalry right here at 168. Yes, top rank, Frank Warren, Bob Arum, and Al Heyman all have to come together to make this fight happen. But it's a grudge match. Why not make it happen for the world title? It would be huge. Chris Eubanks got nothing going on next anyways. Big time fight right here, if they can get it done. The rest of the guys at 168, I don't necessarily see any big fights, so, you know, maybe he just wants to stay busy after those two options, but I really hope he gets a domestic fight with one of those two guys because it would be huge. So that's it, guys. What's next? I'm Billy Joe Saunders. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.